But so since we're talking about this whole 50-50 thing, this is another trigger word that you guys might not like. Watch this.
Because there's women out there that will walk away from a good man talking about, oh, he wanted to go half on rent. He wanted to go half on
facts.
Like that is, you know how fatuous and name that is to say he wanted to go half. First of all, you are responsible for 100% of your life as an adult. 100% of your problems, 100% of your bills, 100% of your stress. And you mean to tell me you had a man right there like, I'll take half of that from you. And you was like, that ain't good enough.
Right.
Damn. I want you to take it all. I don't want to have no responsibility as an adult. And that is financial abuse. And that is feminine manipulation and abuse. So then, fellas, you need to walk away.
Yeah, we found our new hero. That's what I'm talking about. We found our new hero.
Look at D's like,
because he said financial abuse. He taking it way too far. Financial abuse is when I take some out your account. You know what I mean? I'll sneak some out your account. That's financial abuse.
Calling CPS on somebody. That's financial abuse. That's what I'm talking about.
No, that's one for me, one for you. One for you, two for me. One for you, three for me.
But financial abuse does exist. It does. I'm not going to use him as what he said as an example. But let's say a woman is being physically abused by her man and she can't find a way out because he done kept all the money to himself and he controls everything and she's not able to take any money to even do for herself. That's financial abuse. So there is a such thing as financial abuse. But
she needs to get up and do something too. You know, you can't always put everything on a man.
Sometimes it's not that easy, and when you're in that situation, sometimes I'm not even going to go that far. That's all we're talking about. I just use it as an example. But as a person who's been in that situation, sometimes it's not that easy. So.
I think it has to do with narcissistic and toxic people, because in the beginning you might get where they shower you with love and they shower you with gifts and that you think, okay, look, he's courting me the proper way. The second you get in that relationship, I'll pay all your bills. I'll do all that. Now you're staying at his house. You don't have a job. You don't got any money. And it's also females that do that too. Well, he's working, I'm staying, and I run I'll keep the books, and then they out shopping and doing. So it's narcissistic traits that are not just for men. And it's also women that do the same thing.
Agreed.
And financial abuse is usually for elderly people, but narcissistic people do that in relationships.
Agreed.
Gotcha.
What side of that I am?
I mean, let's take the word 50-50 out of it, since that seems to be the trigger. But you know, it seems from what I noticed with social media, and I could be wrong. Somebody let me know if I'm wrong. But most of these individuals are not even willing to go 70-30. Like you can't kick in a quarter or 30%, you know what I'm saying, to like take care of the cable bill and the cell phones, and I take care of the big stuff like the house note and the cars and insurance. Like y'all not even willing to do that, which simply means you're basically, I seen it in the comments, you're a dependent. You want to be somebody's child, but you still want to have all the respect and the accolades of being a full-grown adult. Yeah, and that's not what adults do. Adults take care of themselves and contribute, period, point blank. So I know 50-50 bothers you. Let's talk about 70-30. Can we get 30? Can I get a 30?
Yeah.
Some people don't even want to do that, man. Like
30 good. 30 good. I'll take 30.
Take the 50 away. Let's take the 30. And let's make smart investments while you holding on to this income if you have it. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, most of these individuals don't really have nothing going for real. But let's say, okay, I do take care of, 90% of whatever it is that we have going on. Are you going to take 50% of your 100% income that I'm only taking 10 from and create another stream of income to protect the future of our children and the legacy that we're trying to build. Are you even thinking about that, or are you taking that other 90% and hitting Rodeo Drive, and now you got all the latest Gucci and Montclair and all that type of shit? Is that what we're doing? Because if that's it, I don't want to sign up for that either. Just saying.
All right, I hear you, Jess. What are your 3 cents?
For me, I kind of like Quez's mindset. You know what I mean, as far as like paying the majority. But the thing that I have to say is, if a woman does not work, let's say there's kids in the picture, okay? She's birthing children. Does she not contribute if she's not working?
I think raising the children is contributing.
Thank you,
It's a very
Melvin.
valid fact.
I feel like
that's not my issue.
Being financial.
But just that's never been my issue, because that's a very valid role. You know what I mean? What we're talking about is women who you have no connection to, and you're starting to date, and y'all don't even have children yet, but they don't want to contribute anything to the relationship. That's what we're talking about. Now, most married couples or most people that are in long-term relationships understand this fact, because it could be any given Sunday that I lose my job, or you know what I mean, or she loses her job, and one of us got to pick up that slack. But you don't get that right out the gate. You get that with long-term relationships. You know what I mean? You got to spend a few years with somebody before you make that type of commitment. And once you have kids, that commitment is there whether you like it or not. So, you know what I mean? You have to do that regardless. And if it's more beneficial, because let's be real, childcare is expensive as hell.
Right.
You know what I mean? My daughter goes to a private school, and that's $500 a month. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, like, being realistic, like, everybody's not doing that. And daycares, so it may be more beneficial for you to stay at the crib and watch the kids and train them. But you know what I mean? I understand that. So, you know, that was just to answer your question. I that is a very valid point. I agree with you.
Yeah, and I agree with her. But I think, like Quez says, when most of the time when we speak on, when people bring up 50-50, it's not even the fact of there's children at the home that the woman is taking care of. It's more so of, I want you to pay everything, and I'm just going to live in your house and do whatever I want to do. Or when it's on dates, I'm not going to do this. You're going to do everything because you're the man, and I'm just going to, you know, take advantage of, or whatever the case may be. I think it's a totally different scenario when you have your wife or your woman at home and she's birthing children. And like you said, cost of daycare, cost of all that stuff is expensive. So it would definitely be more beneficial financially and for the well-being of the child if the mother is at home. And at that point, you are doing, you know, a part with raising the children and taking care of home. So I think it's different. I think the scenarios are different.
Right? D?
I can agree with that up to a certain point, because to me, I feel like, okay, what if a man is willing to, some men are real old school and they don't want a woman to be taking care of the bills or this and that, or what have you, or whatever they agree upon. So I see that it depends on who you're with and what you agree upon. What works for you may not work for everybody else. I wouldn't have a problem. I've done 70-30. I had no problem. I've done 50-50. I've never had a problem with it. It's just the point, though, that I do feel very, very strong that a man should take care of the mortgage and the car notes. I'm taking care of the inside with the utilities, the travel, the savings, you know, things like that. So we can maintain, we can still travel and know what's good. But it all balances out with who you're with. You know, and a lot of times I think we get into this internet and listening to what they're saying so much. Some of these people ain't even worth 5 cents. And we're letting that fill our head that every woman or some and every man, that this is what they're wanting and they're requesting. And we have to get away from that. Like, let's not put so much energy into believing this is really what a majority is thinking, because it's not. And it's really not hard to know somebody. And even like the good guy finishes last, as they say. Because the good guy wants to buy flowers, he wants to do this, he wants to show, you know, a nice date. But you got the player over here that's always bragging. So if you bragging about your money, you bragging about this and that, you know, sometimes they don't want to take no. So you might just go ahead and say, let me go ahead and run his pockets. I got time today. But it's just the point that we're getting older. We don't have time for these games. Let's build. Let's get the commonwealth coming in where we can get generational wealth going and not pay so much attention to what the internet is saying. Because if you look at these people, they can't even put an outfit together. They can't even look presentable in public. They can't even act right, talk right, hold a job right. So why are we giving them that much energy? I just don't see it.
Agreed.
I agree with you. I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Benny, I agree with you. You know what I mean? Like, and this is something that Jess had to hit me too. It's not 50-50. I bring 100, you bring 100, and we keep it moving. And that's exactly it. You definitely got to bring in 100 and 100.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you pull together your resources and you pull together what you can and you make it work amongst you. But and another thing that she educated me on too is that, some days it may be 70, you know what I'm saying? And she may have 30. There may be days when she has 70 and I have 30.
Right.
But if you really got somebody who loves you, someone who, again, emphasize the word loves, it's not going to be a problem for them to pick up your slack or you pick up theirs because you're working as a partnership. It's no longer a thing of being like contractual or a business relationship or what you're getting me and the singing in the key of me. You're actually bringing something and contributing something to the table.
What do we do about that extra 25%?
You put it in a savings.
Because the side chick is going to bring 25%. So.
She better have it in her own account. She ain't putting nothing in there.
We rock it with 225 then.
She gonna need some hospital money once I find out about her. So she better put it
in the back bringing 25. Then we got 225.
Shout out to Isaiah King. Shout out to Lawrence Bell. What's up, cuz? Shout out to my pops, AJ Moore. I see you. Hey, make sure you guys are hitting the like and the share button. If you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. But make sure you're sharing this on your page. I do check to see if it's being shared, see who's helping with the love. And again, let's help elevate this. Everybody who's tuning in right now, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Lawrence says, yo, what's good, fam bam? In the panel, what if the dad stays home with the kids? Fathers do get time off after childbirth as well. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
More power to them. Like, there's
Project Slim.
It's whatever your relationship dictates. Like Quez said, if somebody has to stay home, then they stay home because it's more financially beneficial for the family. So it's a relationship by relationship basis.
But don't certain women look down on men if they have to go out and be the primary breadwinner and they have to stay and the father has to stay at home with the kids and they're out doing the grunt work?
But a lot of those
women look down on men.
A lot of those are single, unhappy people. A lot of those are single, unhappy people. So people out there always hating on relationships are often single or they're toxic. So it's like, I ain't trying to get relationship advice from you on your fourth marriage. You have tons of kids and you toxic as hell. Nah, you stay away from me with that shit.
Let's be honest. The largest educated class in America is Black women. So it wouldn't be unrealistic for them to be financially better off than the average male. You know what I mean? No. Because they go to college at higher rates. There's more diversity, equity, inclusion for them in certain arenas. And I wouldn't look down on a brother for sitting at home taking care of his children, and if it financially made sense. Now, like as a man, you have to ask yourself: is you sitting at home taking care of your kids and doing nothing else okay with you? Like, even if I was at home taking care of them kids, like I still have to do something. I'm gonna go stir crazy. Like I got to, get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? E-commerce.
I personally wouldn't feel like a man. You know what I mean?
Like, you know what I mean?
I personally wouldn't feel like a man. You know what I mean? Like I would. I guess it's a sense of pride. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to take pride out of it, but I would have to do something. You know what I'm saying? And that's when the whole thing comes. Like, if she's the primary breadwinner, and if I'm down on my luck, and the only thing I can work at is the McDonald's. The question that you ask now, because if you look at today's women, a lot of today's women, is that even if you work at a McDonald's or a Burger King or a fast food, that's not even good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll sit there and kick you to the curb if you don't have a certain amount of money, just like you've seen within that one clip where she's saying that, making 50K is not enough to date, saying, or making, I wouldn't be allowed to date if that was the case, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I think
depends on the type of bond and relationship you have with the person you were with. So some men do stay home to take care of the kid while the woman goes to work. But it also, like, what if something happened to where the man had to take some days off for like maybe an injury or something like that, and that was all he was able to do at the moment was take care of the kids. And then once he got back on his feet, roles switch. Things are, the only thing consistent with anything is change, and you have to be able to have that bond with that person that you're with to be able to withstand those changes, and then have discussions. Communication is huge. Y'all should be able to sit down and communicate with each other and say, look, I know, Boo, this is hard for you as a man to stay home and take care of his kids, but right now this is what we have to do. And once we get you back on your feet, we can go back and you can continue to do this. Like, I would not make him feel bad if that was his stance for the moment. That you have to have that open dialogue with each other to where you're not making him feel bad or her feel bad for doing vice versa. Y'all are a unit, and whatever you have to do to positively work as a unit, that is you and your spouse's business. It really doesn't care. It doesn't matter to me what the outside world says about, he should be working and he should be doing this. He should never be at home doing this. So it's up to you guys.
Right.
You don't want to live with each other and love each other.
Yeah.
Brother Benny says, I did it for years, and he said got hurt at work, had to stay home. I mean, it happens. I've been injured. Technically I'm disabled, and I had to stay out of work for 8 months. You know what I'm saying? So in that aspect, what happens? Do we go homeless? Do we go hungry? Saying just living off my disability check. Like, you're looking for a partner that's gonna be essentially, if you're gonna marry, you're looking for someone who's gonna be your helpmate. And just like D said, there's times when she didn't, 70-30 and 50-50, she did all of that, what I mean? But I think what she's trying to convey too is that she held stuff down, when stuff got rough. And that's what you look for. So when it gets rough for her, she's looking for you to hold her down, and it should be vice versa, because again, shit happens. So do we go hungry or do we sit up there and just live off my disability because you feel like you're too good enough to go to work, or you living in the traditional role of a man should be taking care of everything? It just, you have to think logic sometimes over emotion. For me,
that's when we start stealing from people. We go run
it's
some
always
pockets.
about behind closed doors. You keep your business behind there, and you're a team. No matter what your team, I don't care if we eat beans and rice for a month. We ain't hungry. I don't care. We just eating cereal every day. We're not hungry, but that's our business behind closed doors. And like I've always said before, we're a team. So we have to, nobody needs to know how you keep your team going and winning. It don't matter how you win, as long as you win it. That's all.
I feel you.
Well, here goes
and don't be trying to compare your relationships. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna share another trigger where someone's TV's loud in the background, but I got another trigger for some people.
Black women want and expect men to pay all 100% of the bills, all, without exception. Don't listen to what they say. This is what they want, and this is what they want. This is what they want, and this is what they expect. So when you hear that woman talk about 50-50, well, can't we do 70-30? That 70-30 only comes along once they feel good that you can actually pay 100%. At least I get a sister on when I was going off on that sister in Houston, talking about you're broke if you don't earn 2 or 3 times as much as me. She said, I will pay for a man to do something if I know and have seen and validated that he makes more money and blah, 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 blah. I give her credit for at least saying the truth. Now, she'll never get that.
Noelani, was good with you. Welcome.
Hi.
I want, so again, we like to normally, when people come on, have their cameras on and all this stuff, but I got to give an exception for my pops. You know what I'm saying? He can't really necessarily do it. He doesn't have the phone for it, but I'm gonna put you on, pops. You know what I'm saying? And drop your 3 cents. You know what I'm saying? But Noelani, go ahead and drop your 3 cents.
I don't like what you said.
Ooh.
You.
Okay.
You keep saying my generation, not all my generation think like
Okay,
that.
I apologize.
You
Not
need to
all.
clear it up.
I'm
That's my
sorry. I'm
niece.
sorry. I'm sorry, Shorty Bit. I didn't
What
mean to say
generation
all.
are you?
We don't think like that. I don't go in a man's pocket.
Good.
I steal
we
from
need more
people.
like you. But
And
again,
I
and I mean,
believe it should be 100 and 100. 100.
Right.
What I mean by 100, 100, I mean if I'm giving all my attention to you, you giving all your attention to me. It's simple.
right.
But where the
You know, we
25% go?
Tell them ain't no side chicks over here collecting no 25%. Tell them no.
I wish there would be a side chick.
Like, so I apologize. I did not mean to offend like those who are actually doing right in the generation, because again, you come from good stock, and I see that you got good examples in your household. So I did not mean to offend the little people out there. My bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he gonna get it for the little people too, Alani. So we gonna get it. Don't worry.
I'm in her hood too. I'm in her hood. But the thing about it is, you hit on a valid
Yep,
point.
she know where you exactly where you at.
I know exactly where you at. Don't
where
play
I'm
with me.
Man, I gotta watch my toes. I'm gonna keep my toes on this stool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel something nibbling at my toes. I know what it is. Hey, but Noelani, so you can attest though that again, you might be one out of I don't know how many, but what do you see within your generation of other young women like yourself? What's the general consensus?
OnlyFans.
What?
No, that's true. All you see is people look for money. If you not, the first thing I don't do is ask somebody, what's your credit score? How much you got in your account? What that gonna do? My questions are, you good with your mama? Because I'm good with my parents. I don't want no drama. Do you believe in God? I believe in God. Right. I don't go with my bank account gotta match your bank account. My goals gotta match your goals. That's what I go for.
Character. That's what I'm talking about. She about character.
You got something going on for your life? Even better. I got something going on for my life.
Let me play advocate. This again, we're speaking to the younger generation, the ones after us. Do you think that goals can essentially, put food on the table? If you're matching goals, do you actually want to see some action behind it, or are you just going for the wordplay?
No, if you pushing each other, y'all could make some bread together.
I like that. Now, I wish that a lot of people had that mind. It's sad that that there's some women, and I have to emphasize some, that that don't think like you. There are grown women who don't think like you at all. What did I miss?
My brother said he's crying right now. He's such a good father.
Hey, you did right, Benny. You and your wife did right by this one.
Because I would date somebody who work at McDonald's. What that got to do with me? Just because they work at McDonald's don't mean nothing. He could be a manager at McDonald's. I know somebody who works at In-N-Out and makes a lot of money at In-N-Out.
Right? I know a girl who actually started working, like she was flipping burgers at In-N-Out, and she went on to become like a general manager. You know what I'm saying?
That's what my sister
In-N-Out has a university. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have In-N-Out University. Like they'll send you to college to be a manager at In-N-Out.
In-N-Out sound like it's a
place. The bag
man.
is over there, flipping them burgers and cutting them potatoes. You know what I mean? Animal style.
I'm sorry.
He's missing California right now. Forgive us right now. He's missing California.
If he would have came to Vegas, he could have got some In-N-Out.
Yeah, that was.
Y'all don't have In-N-Out down there.
Yeah, that's why I'm upset. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to be there, but life.
All right. So
that's all right. Next time.
Project Slims, my cousin says, if money is the narrative that's pushed to the masses, then this is the outcome. Money being the motive. I agree. I definitely agree, cuz. Chi-Town, stand up. What up, Pops? How you doing? What's good? What's your drop your 3 cents? Mike, check. Oh, unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
Oh,
it's on.
My mic is on right now. So
yeah,
you guys are hearing me in real time.
Yeah. What's up, Pops?
Well, that's really dangerous right there. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys take this risk. Hey, what's going on?
All right, let's go with you.
No, it's all good, man.
All right, so what's your 3 cents?
Okay, so what my 3 cents is, if you're worried about money, you're not in a relationship. Okay, you're business partners.
Right.
And and you know what? I like to make a living just like any other man, but at the same time, I don't want to make a living for my entire life. At some point, I want to live a life. So, you know, I get it that you want to see what somebody's contributing so that your burden on making a good life won't be hard. But, you know, it's got to be a person that's got to have at least an equal buy-in of what your level of comfort is. And if they have an amicable, you know, understanding of what your level of comfort is, then they know what they need to contribute. That shouldn't even be a conversation.
I hear you. I hear you. Anybody got anything for that?
No, that's a good 3 cents.
No, I agree.
No, I like that. Yeah.
Bro, don't be trying to set us up to get cussed man. Like, bro, that was facetious right there. Like, y'all anyway, y'all want to tackle Pops? Like, hell no, bro, don't do that.
You know what? He's in Atlanta too, and he got his bill.
No. And I'm not trying to make a hard line on that either, you know, because everybody got their different thresholds. And, you know, everybody got their tolerance level of what they'll do, but that's what makes it a personal relationship. That's what makes it your personal experience. So, you know, I get it that you got to give some people their room so they can grow within themselves and within that relationship. But at the same time, if money's a topic, you know, you guys are being petty.
Right. But again, so it's like I said, it's ill because again, so there's so much emphasis on the man has to make a certain amount, and then again, they try to emasculate the man if he doesn't. You know, so how do you feel about women who actually try to emasculate men in that capacity?
Because I've never had a woman who wanted me for my money. And maybe that's the thing where I've always held my value and I prioritize myself in different ways. Because women who wanted me for the money were always disappointed.
And your picker must be
and I wasn't always broke, you know. I didn't start being broke till I had kids, you know. Shout out to Ed. Shout out to No, but you know, money was never a thing I ever disappointed women with, because I mean, you know, I try to connect. It means something to me. And you know, that's what I think. Like I said, I've kind of noticed that the emotional intelligence of this younger generation is getting slight.
Some
is getting slight. And there's a lot of things
some of the younger
generation. I'm not going to blanket that statement because there's a lot of exceptional people like yourselves out there. But you know, I do want to make mention that, you know, if people don't allow themselves to be vulnerable enough to take those risks, you're never going to have the real experience.
Agreed.
Agreed. I think we're gonna drop it on that bar right there. That's a whole bar. So, anybody else got anything else they want to contribute to that or add before we move along?
No, I think we good. And you know, just the fact of you being open third and saying that you wanted to be 50-50 got you left live on screen because Jess just took off. So I just wanted to point that out. Like, you know, now I'm just messing with you.
I'm over here, you know, I give her my whole packet, you know what I'm saying? And
I'm just messing with you.
I was the good guy, and then I'm just still getting kicked to the curb. I'm about to go